Greetings. Today I want to speak to you concerning Abdullah and the Great Depression and how valuable Abdullah was in the time of a Great Depression. In other words, a time when there was inflation, a time when there was recession, and history always repeats itself. That is why I'm here to say also that what I'm sharing with you, it is very much valuable for the coming recession, for the coming market crash, for the inflation that the world is facing right now. There's a certain wisdom that is needed to give you assurance. And so we see that Abdullah would have given Neville Goddard assurance in the time of the Great Depression by teaching him that God in man is man's imagination. And that is why I really want to point you to get focused on looking inwardly and tapping into your inner economy. And your inner economy is actually your inner ecology. And as you look outwardly, you can see the outer ecology because you can see all of nature and you can see the work of the solar system on the outside. But very few people understand the solar system that is within, which is their inner ecology. And that is why Abdullah had to teach the knowledge of self around the time of a Great Depression, because the entire world was in a certain state of mind. And we all know that the only way you can have transformation in your life is by the renewing of your mind, the reprogramming of your subconscious mind. And that is why messages like these are very much needed in these times. And I'm saying to you, do not get too caught up with being intellectual. Do not get too caught up with specialized techniques. Do not get too caught up with the scientific explanations that many are using to bring the same simple truth to you. It is as simple as whatsoever you sow, that is what also you shall reap. Therefore, my brother, my sisters, whatever you need in your life to face this recession, to face this inflation, I'm saying to you, you got to speak it each and every day so that you can manifest it. Okay? Affirm your life whichever way you want it to be. Because this is the same energy, vibration, and frequency that Abdullah used in the time of the Great Depression to put Neville Goddard in a place of affluence. And as simple as these words may sound to you, if every night you would consciously affirm that which you desire in your life, and you be specific about what you want, and you write it down, and make sure that you remain faithful to that which you would have written down, I'm saying to you that the way would be shown to you. I'm saying to you that there's an intelligence that is within you that would give you the right ideas that you can carry out in these times. Because in the time like now, when many people were throwing themselves out of high-rise buildings and committing suicide, and many was falling under depression, and many was, destroying themselves because of what they were facing, there were others who were turning millionaires and multi-millionaires because they would have shaped their mind and prepared themselves for what was coming even before it would have happened, because they would have looked at history and see how history always repeats itself. Because if I was to go all the way back to when they had the swine flu and so on, when they had a pandemic and so on, it would come right back to after that, the time of the Great Depression and so on, and then after that, you come to the Second World War, and even before Okay, that pandemic with the swine flu, there was the First World War and so on. So you can see these three events, okay, they always work hand in hand. And so when you understand it, you'll understand how important Abdullah was in those troubled times, and why I never said that everyone was seeking an audience with Abdullah. Everyone wanted to have an interview with Abdullah. They wasn't looking at Abdullah's outer appearance. They wasn't looking at the way he dressed. No, they were listening to the words of wisdom that was coming from Abdullah's lips, that was helping them to better themselves, that was helping them to have a paradigm shift in their life. And that paradigm shift was putting them in a place of affluence. That paradigm shift was putting them in a place where they were better people, okay, where they had a better understanding of finances, okay, because the only thing that they do not teach you in school is about money. So financial intelligence or financial education is very scarce, and it comes along with common sense. And your common sense is actually your God sense. That's why Abdullah was teaching people to discover their God self, their higher self, their Christ self, because Abdullah himself would have had that experience. And I'm saying that because I myself would have had that Christ experience, that experience of the great awakening, where you wake from within and you wake from the dream of life, and you understand both the law and the promise, and you understand why you're told to seek first to know thyself. When it says to seek first to know the kingdom, because that kingdom is an inner kingdom that is within, and is the kingdom of your true identity, which is your divinity. And it says that when you find the kingdom or discover the kingdom, it's a realization. And that is written in Matthew 6:33. He said, when that takes place in your life, that all would see the expression outwardly, because it says that all these things that you so desire in this world, they will be added on to you. And so I just want to remind you to always remember that there was a time in your life when you couldn't speak, and there's a time in your life that you couldn't walk. And as time goes by, you begin to creep, then you walk, then you learn to run. And the same thing, you couldn't even pronounce the name of your mother or your father at a very young age, until you come to a place that you can pronounce their names quite clearly. All of that is to teach us a growth process. All of that is to teach us how we need to trust the process and trust the law of attraction, and to understand that we are more than the things that we are seeking for. We are the real value. So we're not supposed to be looking to these things to make us happy, but instead we have to find peace and happiness and joy within ourselves. We have to find the real Jerusalem within ourselves, knowing that it's a geographical place of dwelling. We have to understand that the central character of the Bible is man's imagination. We have to understand that all these places in the Bible, that they are psychological places of dwelling. And we have to dwell in what place we choose, because we all have been given a choice. So my brother, my sisters, the choice is yours. You can either keep focusing on the outer economy and listen to the propaganda from the media and listen to your religious and political leaders, or you can choose to listen to yourself. You can choose to listen to your intuition. You can choose to be led and guided by your intuition. And you can also choose to reject or accept those who have been sent to you to mentor you, to help you to see the path. They are not more than you, okay? We are just here to show you that we have preceded you in the awakening, and we are showing you the path towards coming to your true awakening, knowing that you are a spirit having a human experience. And that is because we would have experienced our spiritual self, our invisible self. Okay, so that's the reason why Abdullah and his work was so powerful in those times. And that is why this work that I'm doing, it is powerful. That is why this work that I'm doing, it is for all of humanity. That is why this work that I am doing, it means so much to me. And when you take what I'm saying seriously and you apply it in your life, that means a lot to me. That makes me happy to know that I would have tapped in to my creativity and my ability, because I would have discovered that my real identity is my divinity, while 99.999% of the people in my country, they think that I am crazy. They will even call me crazy because I do not believe that the Bible is literal. Neither do I believe that the Bible is a secular history. Neither do I believe that the characters in the Bible, that they are historical characters. I believe them to be states of mind, a state of consciousness, because I understand the law of mentalism, the law of rhythm, the law of vibration, the law of polarity, the law of cause and effect, the law of gender. Okay, and I can go on and on. But because I believe in these laws and would have experienced alchemy, experienced the birth from the skull, experienced the new birth, I am more than qualified to be here speaking to you and bringing this message of good news to you, saying to you that God in man is man's imagination. Trust your imagination. And let me come to a close here by saying that everything that you would ever hear from Neville Goddard or any law of attraction teacher is a reflection of Neville Goddard's mentor, Abdullah the Black Mystic from Ethiopia, that you are beholding. All of his lectures, he would have learned these things from Abdullah the Black Mystic from Ethiopia. So I'm here celebrating my ancestor because I have that same DNA and I am definitely a true witness. There's so many people on the internet that is teaching this work, yet many of them, they would have never had an inner eruption, an inner experience of consciousness. I can tell you that everything in this world that you're beholding is an illusion. Not by theory, but because I would have experienced that all is consciousness. All is consciousness. Consciousness is the only reality. That's why I would encourage you never to get caught up in false identity. Okay, because many people, they would make certain comments and they try to attack me. But if you look closely, many people who make certain negative comments, I do not respond to them. I protect my energy. So my brother, my sisters, all I want to say to you, raise your vibration and raise your frequency to live above the economy that many people would refer to as a time of Great Depression or recession or inflation. It is time for you to inflate the creative power that is within you to rise to a high place of occasion, a high place of your ideal, and reach out and grab every opportunity, because your reward in life will always be according to your service and your contribution. So as I come to a close here, let me just say, always remember the law of Goya. Get off your ass. Do something. Get in action. Know what you love to do and what you're good at. Don't think about how or when it's gonna be done. You're told to come and purchase wine and milk and honey, and you're gonna purchase without money. Use the creative power that create money and end all mental slavery. So let me say again another time. With this being said, I want to thank you very much for listening to me. I want to say to you, if this is the very first time that you listen to me, what I'm saying, if it really makes sense to you and it really resonates with you and you haven't subscribed already, I'm just going to encourage you to subscribe, to like, to comment, or to share this video. Also, if you like to follow me on Instagram or you like to follow me on TikTok, you can definitely follow me at Black Mad Guru. And if you feel strongly led to support this work, I just want to remind you that we have a PayPal and the link is always down below. Also, you can support by allowing the ads to play. And if you would like to be a part of my Patreon community and support this work continually as we all work together for the advancement and upliftment of all of humanity, I will definitely appreciate your effort. And I have also a $20 course. It is called the Inner Sun Science and Technology to Create Your Reality Consciously. And it's all about you tapping in within yourself to discover that you have an inner sun. I normally refer to it as the melanin sun. And when you tap in to that realization, you will come to know that the only thing that is out of alignment is you, if you're not seeing the results that you so desire in your life. So when you come in alignment, that is you coming into balance with your inner ecology, and your inner ecology will also reflect your outer ecology, because when you look around and you, as you can see, I should say, you see that whatever the sun shines upon, it brings forth bountifully, and that's the outer ecology. Okay, therefore, whatever you can imagine, whatever you can envision inwardly with the right mindset and the right feeling and emotion, it will be expressed outwardly. Okay, so that's what it means when it says let your light so shine for the world to see. Yeah, it is you tapping into your creativity and using your ability for the upliftment and advancement of all of humanity. That is why it is very important for you to know yourself spiritually. Okay, not just physically. So if you feel strongly led to listen to those videos, I'll definitely encourage you to do so. At this time, I just want to say peace, love you all, I'm out.